The film opens with Ava, a stunning woman. She works for a covert organization and is a cold-blooded contract killer. The target of Ava's assignment, a man named Peter, is waiting for her at the French airport. Peter begins flirting with Ava during the trip since he can't help but be attracted to her beauty. In response to Peter's attempts, Ava purposefully stops her vehicle. Ava brings up something from Peter's background that implies someone wants him dead. She is unaware that a girl named Camille, the daughter of Simon, high-ranking member of the organization, has been listening in on every discussion she has with the target. But when she probes him about his previous behavior, things take a turn for the worst. Ava cuts Peter off immediately since he doesn't offer any insightful responses. After that, she informs her organization that the mission is finished. Before long, Ava is in a Boston hotel, where she is given a bag with provisions for her upcoming Saudi Arabian expedition. She then meets Judy, her younger sister, and a cafe singer. It has been 8 long years since they last met. It is disclosed that Ava used to be an alcoholic and that she ran away from home as a result of a fight with her father. Judy is justifiably resentful of her older sister because she had to take care of everything by herself after their father passed away, especially because their mother is currently in the hospital after suffering a heart attack. The two sisters pay their mother a visit at the hospital the following day. When their mother brings up Judy's boyfriend, Michael, who happens to be Ava's ex-boyfriend, it becomes an intriguing topic of discussion. They converse and take in the fresh air in a hospital garden for the remainder of their time there. Ava quickly takes a plane to Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, for her next mission to kill a general after seeing her family. Ava's job in this assignment is to make everything look like a natural death. She successfully piques the general's interest by posing as his friend's daughter, and he extends an invitation for her to visit his private chamber. But before he can spend a pleasant evening with Ava, the general feels his body tensing up. Unbeknownst to him, Ava has subtly administered a drug that would result in heart failure for the general within the next 15 minutes. Ava asks the general about his wrongdoings, which have caused someone to desire him dead, as she always does. The guards, who now know who she really is, startle Ava immediately. Ava feels compelled to cut the general's throat in order to murder him. Despite the chaos, Ava is able to act credible and win over military troops to her cause. Ava takes advantage of this chance to steal a tear gas canister from the man's uniform, which she uses when she gets to the lobby. Ava soon demonstrates her fighting prowess in a spectacular battle against the military personnel attempting to stop her. Ava encounters Duke, who trained and recruited her for the group. They talk about Ava's clumsy Saudi Arabian mission. She is reassured by Duke that she was not at fault. Ava must be aware, though, that management dislikes her propensity to delve into the background of her targets. Ava should not play amateur psychiatrist. Instead, she should concentrate on getting rid of her objectives. Ava runs into Michael, her ex-boyfriend, and her sister's current lover in the hospital. This makes things unpleasant, so instead of getting caught up in recollections of the past that would only bother her, Ava decides to divert her attention by feigning to fix a TV. Changing to Duke, he is shown visiting Simon at his home. Ava's mission failure in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, is apologized for by Duke. In order to prevent their group from being implicated, he also tells Simon that the Saudi authorities are attempting to reroute the general's death probe. But Simon doesn't appear to be comforted by this. He thinks that if Ava is not controlled, she will eventually cause issues for the company. Concerns are also raised by Ava's practice of talking to her targets, which is against the organization's code of ethics. Thus, Simon chooses to give Ava a vacation and will offer her a new task when he thinks it's suitable. But once Duke leaves Simon's house, Simon gives his daughter instructions to call one of their members and give them the order to get rid of Ava right now. And sure enough, when jogging in the evening, Ava starts to suspect a man who has been pursuing her from behind. The man tries to attack Ava when they get to a peaceful area, which inevitably results in a confrontation. But the man appears confused as he searches for Ava, who can quickly slip out of his line of sight before launching an unexpected attack. Ava meets with Duke once more the next day to discuss her worries. Ava believes the group may be attempting to get rid of her because of the failure of her mission in Saudi Arabia. Ava feels that Duke is keeping something from her, so she decides to leave him even though he keeps telling her that the management agreed that she was not to blame for the problems in Saudi Arabia. Judy shows up with a frustrated look at precisely 5 in the morning. Judy reveals that after requesting permission to visit a gambling establishment yesterday night, Michael hasn't come home. Judy begs Ava to accompany her to the location where Michael typically gambles since she believes she knows it. The following day, Ava visits the location where Michael typically gambles, despite her pretense that she is unaware. Judy is concerned, so she urges Michael to come home immediately after spotting him absorbed in a card game in a secret place. Tony, the establishment's owner and an old acquaintance, approaches Ava at that very moment, astonished by her presence after 8 years apart. Tony urges his goons to detain Michael and get rid of Ava while bringing up her history as a drug addict, not understanding that Ava has changed. Naturally, Ava has no trouble eliminating all of Tony's goons and keeping Michael safe. Before departing, Tony tells Ava that Michael has decided to become Tony's player and has a $75,000 obligation, so he cannot just walk away. After hearing this, Ava declares that she will settle all of Michael's debt in the next 36 hours. She wishes to see her younger sister content and trouble-free. Outside, though, pride-driven Michael turns down Ava's generous offer and decides to go it alone. He returns to Duke and meets Simon once more to complain. Duke is aware that Simon orchestrated the Saudi Arabian event, which resulted in Ava's death there, much like the man's attack in Boston, which Ava just avoided. Duke can't stand to see Ava fired for no justification because he trained and brought her into the company. Duke now wants Simon to deactivate the murder order against Ava, despite the fact that he has always maintained the organization's honor in front of Ava. Camille points a gun at Duke when Simon declines. When Duke, appearing disgusted, finally attacks, they start fighting. Duke can annoy Simon a few times, but he is too old to maintain a maximal confrontation for too long. He is ultimately rendered helpless by Simon with ease. Bound and defeated, Duke is brought to the lake's brink to drown. To send Ava a message, Simon first records Duke in pictures and videos. Simon calls Ava that night to let her know that he has gotten rid of Duke. Ava is naturally incensed upon hearing this. When she witnesses Duke's condition in his last minutes, her resentment grows. Then Ava goes into vengeance mode. She initially went to Tony's house to settle Michael's loan, though. Here, Tony's goons attacked her right away and attempted to stop her. As the situation descended into chaos, everyone fled the area. Then, on purpose, Ava let Tony to beat her until he was satisfied. She simply gave Tony a harsh smile and revealed that she had been paid to kill for the previous 8 years, killing 41 people. This shocked Tony and caused him to stop beating her. After that, Ava threatened Tony and hurled a bag full of cash meant to settle Michael's debt. Later, Ava drank multiple bottles of alcohol until she was completely inebriated and relaxed at the hotel where she was staying. But shortly after, Simon showed up out of nowhere and crept into Ava's place. As a result, the two engaged in a close-range gunfight. They both hurt each other as the altercation turned into a vicious fighting. After a while, they were both worn out, and then Simon's infiltration of the hotel resulted in the sound of an emergency alert. Ava followed Simon as he tried to flee. Simon was forced to surrender after Ava shot him in the leg as he hobbled off on a bridge. Not wanting to waste any more time, she killed him without hesitation. Following that, Ava saw Judy at her apartment right away and gave her a chunk of money along with the details of many bank accounts that had an amazing total balance. For their own protection, she advised Judy and her mother to depart the country right away. Ava was aware that she and her family would become easy targets because of what she had done to Simon, a prominent member of the group. As Ava stepped outside and realized Simon's daughter was already following her from behind, this worry turned into a reality. The film then comes to a close.